good evening, and welcome to ThaiPBS World Tonight. I'm Nad Bunag.
I'm Tulip Naksompoplau. And of course, we're going to start today with the news from the protest side, and most of them already dispersed.
Right.
Earlier today that they said there will be a big surprise coming up. So just around 4 p.m., the protest organizer, which is the United Front of Thammasat and Demonstration and Free Youth Movement, has posted on their Facebook and urged people to gather at BTS and MRT station at 5:50 p.m. and said there will be a big surprise. So people show up, people sing national anthem, they raise their three finger salute, and then they just disperse. And then there was a post on Facebook page by the United Front of Thammasat and Demonstration said the big surprise is there is no demonstration today.
So big surprise is no surprise.
However, the page said that even though they're not organizing any political event today, but there are some places in Bangkok and in other provinces that the people just kind of get together and organize a demonstration themselves. In Bangkok, they will be at Central Pin Klau, but we also see the crowd at the Mall Bang Khae. In other provinces, Kanchanaburi at Khun Phan Pavilion, Trang at Payun Roundabout, and Pathum Thani at the van station across of Future Park Mall, and Lamphun is at Sam Kruba Monument.
And at the meantime, there were two protest leaders, Rung Panasaya and Penguin Chiwarak, have been detained again shortly after the granted bail earlier today over the recent protest at Thammasat University on September 19th. The two protest leaders were detained by Chanasongkhram police after they were freed from Thanyaburi prison in Pathum Thani province this afternoon. Rung and Penguin were supposed to be released from prison last night after the appeals court granted them bail on the condition that they must not repeat the same offenses again. But the court's order came too late after the prison's gate had already been shut. Hence, they had to spend another night behind bars. When they were supposed to be released from the prison this morning, police from the northeastern province of Roi Et were already waiting for Penguin with a court's arrest warrant for sedition charges related to a protest rally held in Roi Et on September 3rd. But Penguin refused to sign a document to acknowledge the charges. Later on, Chanasongkhram police arrived at the Thanyaburi prison with arrest warrants for both Penguin and Rung. Both were eventually escorted by the police to Region 1 Border Patrol Police Camp in Pathum Thani for questioning. Another protester, Natchanon Pairod, who was also granted bail by the appeals court, was freed from prison. And just hours ago, the criminal court has issued another arrest warrant for Suranat Panprasert, another protest leader from the active youth group, for causing harm to Her Majesty the Queen during her motorcade on October 14th. This is the third arrest under this charge after two protesters, Ekachai Hongkangwan and Mun Gyönun Paotong, were also arrested last Friday. According to the Thai Lawyers for Human Rights, 86 protesters have been arrested from October 13th to the 18th.
Okay, so in a related development, finally, one media is ordered to be shut down. We don't know yet when it's going to start, but Voice TV was ordered to shut down today. The criminal court has ordered the closure of the online platform, its Facebook, its website, and every platforms they have of the Voice TV on the grounds that the platforms have disseminated false information about the current protests in violation of the emergency decree. The court is also considering similar action against three other media outlets, Prachat Thai, The Reporters, and The Standard, as requested by the Ministry of Digital Economy and Society. But the CEO of Voice TV, Mekin Petplai, he said in the statement that Voice TV still performs its duty as normal as it is, yet to receive the formal order from the criminal court. However, he said that Voice TV has performed its duty professionally, without distorting information which may cause misunderstanding or may threaten national security or public order as alleged. After the court order, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha has instructed the Joint Command for the Administration of Emergency Situation to reconsider its order to clamp down on media outlets alleged of disseminating false or misleading information.
And moving on to some lighter news, Thailand has finally welcomed the first batch of tourists to Thailand as part of the government's plan to ease lockdown restrictions and to revive the economy, which is highly reliant on tourism. It has been revealed that the first group of Chinese tourists from Shanghai arrived at Suvarnabhumi International Airport around 5 p.m. today. The arrival of the first group of tourists were previously postponed due to concerns by public health officials over a potential second wave of COVID-19 infections. According to the Ministry of Transport, apart from the 41 Chinese tourists coming to Thailand, 30 Thai nationals will also arrive on the same flight from Shanghai. Mr. Yuttasak Supasorn, governor of the Tourism Authority of Thailand, revealed that there will be no welcoming ceremony for the Chinese tourists who will be subjected to COVID-19 screening upon arrival and then isolated in quarantine for 14 days, after which they can travel elsewhere, but they will be required to install a tracing app on their smartphones. While in quarantine, the Chinese tourists will be given their first swab tests on the 3rd to 5th day after their arrival, and the second test will be on the 11th to 14th day. The second group of tourists from Guangdong province is scheduled to arrive in Thailand on October 26th. And that wraps up tonight's edition of Thai PBS World Tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow. สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ